Hey boys and girls, it's time for another Bible story. So I've got my Busy Bee Bible story book, and let's check and see what letter we're on today. A is for ark, B is for blind, C is for children, and D is for Daniel. E is for Easter, F is for fish and follow. G is for Goliath, and Goliath was a giant. And H is for healed. I is for Isaac. J is for Jonah. K is for king, and L is for lunch. M is for Moses. N is for Naaman. O is for one, and P is for paralyzed. Q is for Queen Esther. R is for ravens. S is for Samaritan, and T is for 10 Commandments. U is for unbelievable, and V is for victory. W is for wise men. And now, today, we have X is for Xerxes. All right, well, remember when we heard the story about Queen Esther? And I told you guys that Queen Esther was going to have a very important job to do as queen. There was a man named Haman, and Haman had an evil plan. He tricked King Xerxes into making a law to kill all of the Jewish people. Well, the king and Haman didn't know that Queen Esther was a Jew. And Queen Esther had to ask the king to save her people. Now, this is kind of weird, but it was against the law for anyone to go to the king unless the king asked to see you. So Queen Esther was really afraid that the king was going to be angry with her. And so she asked everybody to pray. And for 3 days, everyone prayed and stopped eating. And after 3 days, Esther went to see the king. And guess what? The king was happy to see her. Well, Queen Esther asked the king to come to a banquet. A banquet is like a really big party with lots of really good food. And she also invited Haman. After 2 banquets, Esther asked the king to save her people. The king got really angry, and he said, "Who would want to hurt my queen?" And Esther had to say, it was Haman. Well, the king let Esther write a new law to protect the Jewish people, and the king gave everything that Haman owned to Esther, and then he had Haman put to death, and the Jews were saved. And that's how God used Queen Esther to save the Jewish people. X is for Xerxes.